Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard Cisneros at your service. Today I'll be reading the April 10th Daily Inspirational post, the short version. It's only a couple paragraphs. And then I'll center myself and then make a couple comments on it. And I hope it will assist both of us on our journeys. Okay, here we go. Letting go of unloving thoughts. If you are currently grappling with or holding on to unloving thoughts of yourself or others, today place your criticisms aside and recall that such a moment is being offered to you to help you practice recalling that it is you who should have control over your thoughts, that your thoughts should not have control over you. Today, instead of fueling the flames of anger, resentment, and revenge, let us take these instances as opportunities to practice taking back control of our own thoughts and thus of our own minds. Let us not put ourselves down for thinking unloving thoughts. Instead, let us see such instances as opportunities to practice taking control of our own minds and thus of our own lives. Today, as God's creation, let us choose not to hold on to or within us anything that is not love. Paragraph 2. Today, let us be aware that all an unloving thought is doing is helping us see when we are allowing the ego to be in control of our thinking. Today, let our awareness of unloving thoughts become a trigger that calls us back to take back control of our minds and thus lives. Using unloving thoughts in this manner, they become allies in our awakening process and not our adversaries. Excuse me. Let us now offer our loving thoughts gratitude for helping us awaken to who we no longer desire to be. Let us also be grateful to those individuals who bring up these unloving thoughts to our minds for also helping us see who we no longer desire to be. Those individuals that we once cursed are now seen, understood, and appreciated as our assistants on our journey to forgiveness, healing, peace, and awakening. Today, when we have an unloving thought, let us remember that we, in truth, are God's creations, love's creations, and God is love and all. And therefore, the only real thing about us is love. If we're having an unloving thought, that's simply a sign, a symbol that we have allowed the ego's programming to take over our thinking, and thus our minds, and thus our lives. And so when you have an unloving thought, the ego wants you to keep on focusing on this unloving thought. And it could be anything like a critical thought, judgmental thought, hateful thought, resentful thought, anxious thought, stress-filled thought, anything that's not loving, any unloving thought. So the ego wants you to focus on this because this is a fuel source. And so the more you focus on the illusion, on the ego's mindset, the bigger part of your life it becomes. And then you become a lesser part of your life. And this comes into main focus and it's controlling more and more of your life. And so when it controls more and more of your life, then you defend it as a more real part of you. And so if you think it as a more real part of you, then you come to its defense more quickly. And when you come to its defense more quickly, what happens? It even becomes a bigger part of your life. And then you have to defend it more, and it's obviously a downward spiral. So today, let us not build something out of nothing, because in the end, this is nothing. This is an illusion that we've made real, that we ourselves made real by our belief in it. Okay, now, when an unloving thought comes into mind, don't judge yourself for that. Don't put yourself or others down for that, because all we're doing is recognizing this unloving thought is helping us recognize that we're somewhere where we do not belong. And so this unloving thought, even though that the ego doesn't know it, is actually helping us remember that this is not us, that this is us. And so when an unloving thought comes into your mind, it's okay. Do not despair. Do not fuel it. Simply recognize it. Wait a second. I'm love. I'm love's creation. Therefore, this thought in me that I'm thinking right now must not be true. It must be simply a program that I have accepted as real. And so let me now take back control of my own mind, my own thinking, by declining the ego's request for judgment, the ego's request to fuel an unloving thought. So you consciously decline it and thus realign with who you truly are, with your loving essence. And then see this unloving thought not as something to judge yourself or others for, but simply as a tool to help reinforce in you your true nature. And the more you reinforce your true nature, the more natural this becomes to you to offer love and loving thoughts. And then the less time you spend in the illusion. And so the brighter light you become to others. And so now when an unloving thought comes to your mind, don't judge it, instead thank it. And when unloving thoughts of individuals come to your mind, don't condemn them. Don't resent or hate them. That only fuels the illusion. Instead, do the opposite of what the illusion would have you do. Offer them your forgiveness, your compassion, your understanding, remembering that nothing about them, if your truth is thinking about them, is anything other than loving. Your truth can only think loving thoughts about self or others because the truth in you is love and only love. When you're thinking judgmental or unloving thoughts about others, that's the false self within you, the ego self, the programmed self, the unaware self, the sleeping self that's thinking for you, the ego self. And so the ego's thinking for you, and so you're not even in control of your own mind. But today we use that understanding to take back control of our own minds. And so we forgive the unloving thought. If we have an unloving thought of somebody, let's not fuel it. Let's simply forgive them. And then let us offer them gratitude, because they're simply in reality, our thinking, our unloving thinking of them is simply showing us where we are holding on to something that's false within us as true. And so we thank them for offering us the opportunities to practice our own healing, our own awakening process. They are a sacred part of our awakening process, and so we thank them. And not only do we thank them, but we pray for them, and we bless them, and with our whole heart, as much as you can, ask God to heal them, to offer them joy and happiness and clarity and peace. So when an unloving thought comes to you, decline it, thank them, and then offer them the opposite. Offer them your forgiveness, your compassion, your understanding. Because we're all one, what you will be doing by doing that is reinforcing within yourself your oneness, your connection to Source. And so let us simply do that today. Let us not judge ourselves for being out of alignment with who in truth we are. Let us simply recognize that we're out of alignment, forgive our own misperception of the situation, come to center, come to alignment with Source, offer gratitude, send them a blessing, and if we can't pray for them, or honestly with our heart ask for the best things in life for them, when the ego wants us to condemn, judge, and hate them, if we can't do that, then invite God to do that for you. Because in reality, you and God are one. So your highest self is always connected to God, conscious or unconscious of it as you may be. So if your small I cannot offer that love to your brothers and sisters, simply ask God to do that for you. When a thought of them comes in, every time a thought of them comes in, and it's a negative, judgmental, unloving thought, ask God, please, think this thought for me, offer them, take this illusion from me, and then offer them your love. I ask that for you because I can't do that right now. But the more you ask God to love them and forgive them and have compassion for them, the more you'll start to see that way of thinking feels natural and right. And then little by little, you'll start to choose as God chooses. You'll start to think as God thinks, because you and God are already one. It's just the programming, the layers of programming that we have that are blocking our own self-awareness of who we truly are. But today we take a big step forward by using the illusion to awaken us. We don't sink deeper into the illusion. We don't sink deeper into the darkness. We don't become part of the darkness, we become part of the light, which is who we truly are and who we were all created to be. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you would be so kind as to like, comment, or share this video, it would help with the listening process. And it might help somebody find this information who can use it someday. Thank you for that. And God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.